In October 1956, the people of Hungary believed the world was changing. After the death of Stalin, a thaw seemed possible. What began as a student protest in Budapest quickly exploded into a nationwide revolution. For 12 days, it looked like Hungary might actually break free from Soviet control, establish a multi-party democracy, and withdraw from the Warsaw Pact. But the thaw was an illusion, and the injustice that followed would stain the Cold War forever. The Hungarian Prime Minister, Imre Nagy, sided with the people. He promised free elections and neutrality. For a brief moment, the Soviet Union seemed to hesitate, even withdrawing troops from the capital. But behind the scenes, the Kremlin decided that if Hungary left the Soviet sphere, the entire Eastern Bloc would collapse. On November 4, the Soviet Red Army launched Operation Whirlwind, a massive invasion involving 60,000 troops and over 2,500 tanks. The injustice was compounded by the global stage. Radio Free Europe had been broadcasting messages encouraging the Hungarians to resist, implying that Western help was on the way. But the US and its allies were distracted by the Suez Crisis in Egypt and were unwilling to risk a nuclear World War III over a Soviet satellite state. The Hungarian freedom fighters, many of them teenagers armed with nothing but Molotov cocktails, were left to face the full might of the Soviet military alone. The crushing of the uprising was brutal. Over 2,500 Hungarians were killed in the fighting, and 200,000 fled as refugees. In the years that followed, the Soviet-backed regime executed hundreds of dissidents, including Imre Nagy, and imprisoned tens of thousands more. The injustice here was the forceful reimposition of a system the people had clearly rejected, proving that in the Cold War, fraternal aid, as the Soviets called it, usually arrived at the end of a gun barrel. The 1956 Hungarian Uprising exposed the reality of the Iron Curtain. It wasn't a shield against the West, but a cage for the East. It reminded the world that for a superpower, stability is often more valuable than the lives or liberty of the people living within its shadow.